Doug, you have a young client base. Are student loans something that you deal with regularly?
Regularly, all the time. Wrote a book about it.
So how do you deal with that? You just pretend it doesn't exist?
No, bury your head in the sand. Yeah, it just goes away, right? Early on in catering to millennials, this was, I think, a lot more of an issue than where it is now as geriatric millennials. Look, it's for a good problem in that they're making more money. They've overcome the hurdle of their student loan debt being a burden on achieving their goals. They can get over that
Geriatric millennials are born like early 80s?
Yeah, I'm 84. So 36-year-olds to 40-year-olds, I think, are in the geriatric phase.
Okay.
So if they did well and worked really hard, and so if they got like the law degree and took out $200,000, $300,000, they whether they liked it or not, they kept at it. They're now out earning those student loan payments. So it still shows
But
up.
you're a wealth manager. So by definition, you're not going to have clients that are struggling with student loans.
Right.
It's annoying.
Those I do. I actually take those pro bono. I'll never forget one where it was a young girl. Literally, I saw no way. I had to tell her, leave the city, move in with your mom, work as much as you possibly can. It was terrible. Her dad died and co-signed the loan. It was a disaster. It was a heartbreaker. And the only right thing to say is like, you have to grab this thing by the horns. There is light at the end of the tunnel. It's going to be the most uncomfortable thing you're going to be dealing with over a 5-10 year period. But let me shake pom-poms for you and tell you you can do this. The alternative, there is none.
How did she react to that advice?
I never heard from her again. So in my mind, I imagine she moved home and it's now 5 years later and she's on her way.
All right. So Parent Plus loans.
Yeah.
So define this for the people that aren't even aware of what this is about.
Yeah. So Parent Plus loans allow your parent to co-sign a student loan for you up to, this is the important part, up to the cost of attendance. No different than getting Graduate Plus loans. So these two loan structures, the plus, creates an interesting student loan trap. Because if you're going to a super expensive school or graduate school, you can take out up to like 2, 3, 4, if you're a medical school, you can take up a multiple six figures in student loans.
Who can take it up? The parent can take it as though they're the student.
With plus loans, it's typically parents and their undergraduate attendee. Okay, because the undergraduate federal loans can't get up to the cost of attendance.
Okay.
All right. And then when it goes over to the grad school, basically it has the borrower, the student borrower can go up to the cost of attendance. That's how you get, my wife with $300,000 in student loan debt.
So this seems dumb. There was an article in the Journal about a couple who took out $200,000 in 2005. It's now $500,000.
Yes. The New York Times article?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, the New York Times article. So the Parent Plus loan does not come with an attempt to understand the parent's ability to repay it. That sounds dumb. Well, why? Because thanks to the education department, they view these loans, as they do all student debt, as, quote, instruments of social insurance policy and not traditional debt, end quote, which is why they are not subject to traditional underwriting norms. Are you kidding me?
So they don't look at the parent's ability to repay it at all?
They don't look at the kids on the Grad Plus and their ability to repayment at all. This is what's fundamentally wrong.
That I understand, but I guess I don't know why I assume this. So, all right, in this case...
Well, here, this is the coup de grace, and this is totally f***ed. If borrowers default on or consolidate their loans, or if they receive a forbearance or a deferment, putting payments on hold, the interest that accrues is capitalized, which means it is added to their principal balance, pushing payments higher. What are we trying to do here?
Hurt people.
Well, who's going to take the loan? Who's going to make the loan if that's not in place?
Well, then put some underwriting standards on it.
You gotta zoom out here. It's just, all right, so it's like the something that's got to give with higher education and the way we let people borrow for it. And it's a multifaceted problem, and it touches on everything from financial literacy to the alignment. This is the big one, the alignment, the incentives between borrowers and universities and how the cost of education got to where it is in the first place to allow this.
Who are the lenders here? Is it the government or is it private institutions?
Parent Plus loans now account for nearly a quarter of new federal borrowing for undergraduates. So 25% of undergraduates who are borrowing money for college, there's a Parent Plus loan attached to it.
Yep.
Or superseding it. I don't really know. It's all one loan.
So,
but that's only 6% of the 1.57 trillion in current federal
because
student debt.
they've gotten more popular recently.
So it's a
Yes.
small portion of the overall portfolio, but you see, this is where the balances are high because again, they borrow up to the cost of
Right.
attendance. So you get the most dramatic and glamorous, not so glamorous stories, out of both the Parent Plus loan, which you see right here, and the Grad Plus loans. It creates, again, the most putrid downfalls.
So what are these families supposed to do?
falling
They've
outs.
got $500,000 worth of loans.
Well, they have a kid in New York, in NYU, which is probably your first mistake. So what is NYU a year now?
60 to 70 grand a year.
70 grand a year. So 4-year undergrad
and you gotta
degree
and you got to
is-
live here.
and you have to live here on top of it. So, here, wait. According to the most recent scorecard data, the median total debt at graduation was $74,201. 1/5 of students had a parent who took a Parent Plus loan at NYU. So, so is your kid Steven Spielberg? Because if not,
You think so?
and you're putting yourself in that financial position, you're fooling yourself, you're fooling your kid, and
There's a lot of parents writing checks to send their kid there. You got to look at that data and see, well, what's the average household income or net worth of,
Is this because they're not educated or they're trying to do the right thing? They're trying to help their kids instead of having the kids take out the loan?
they think they're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
So we have an advisor here. You know Tony, right?
of course.
Tony Isola has gotten very deep into finance, like financial planning for college, and
That's awesome.
he got the license or the accreditation
Yep.
or whatever because he had twin boys that he just got into college this past year during the pandemic, and he was saying there are all these quirks in the algorithms that change every year. But if you for example, last year there were no foreign students, so the schools were left with huge shortfalls because foreign students pay full boat.
Yeah, they don't really get financial aid.
There's no financial aid for
Right.
kids coming from China. But there weren't any.
Yeah.
There's no foreign students. So Tony was saying, if you know that, you understand how the algorithm works, this is a situation where it actually benefits you not to ask for financial aid. Because when they go hit the list, they're looking for the kids that can make up that shortfall. But that's not every year. So it's so arcane how they're figuring out who gets in, who doesn't. But paying for college, I feel like, is a whole subgenre of financial planning.
Guys, the schools are off the hook with the borrowers. Government gives you money. Get in whatever school you can.
Right.
The university doesn't care if you fail out. They're getting the money.
Yeah,
There's the incentives
and you
gone.
can't discharge these loans.
So that's the last thing I really have. It's impossible.
Is this the only one? Is this the only one that falls under that umbrella?
No, they all can't.
No, I'm saying
What do you
when
mean?
you declare bankruptcy and these don't
You
go
can
away.
discharge credit card debt. You
Right.
just have up credit. But you can get rid of it.
My very, very good friend from college, bankruptcy attorney, federal clerk. This guy knows the stuff inside and out. I just called him up one day for that case where I was helping that girl, and I said,
You're like, is there any way we can get rid
Michael,
of this?
is that I've always been told this is very hard. Is it really impossible? And he's like, I'm not going to waste your time on this call. Impossible. And then he brought me through why, and I was just like, my God.
It's pretty unbelievable. Let's keep moving here. So you're a coffee addict.
Yeah.
You and I had a little bit of a run-in pre-pandemic.
It's all good. We're good now.
Josh is truly a coffee peasant.
Yeah, I will drink gas station coffee. I
Yeah,
don't give a shit.
he's at the Shell gas station.
I called people coffee assholes, and you identified with that. I didn't call you one, but you definitely took that a little personally. But I learned a very valuable lesson. You came in, you brewed me some shitty coffees, and then your favorite coffee, and I could correctly identify that yours was better, right? So there is a difference. It is discernible, even to people that aren't going out of their way to learn about this stuff.
Yeah. I don't expect people to fall in love with my hobby and
Doug,
rock.
Oh, wait a minute.
You don't have to defend it. Like, coffee is more defensible than my hobby, which is being a tequila asshole.
I love that too.
And I became a 10x tequila asshole during the pandemic. Still am.
Doug, I forgot. I use the drip every single day.
I love it. I got you that.
You got me
yeah,
that. You got me that.
I actually wonder in the morning if Michael is waking up grinding
dude, I
beans
swear to
and
God, I
making
use
a
it-
pour
I
over.
use
The drip.
Doug got me
I got you a Chemex to do pour overs.
I use it every single day.
You're doing that every day?
Every single day.
It's ritual.
It's super
Like
easy.
by K-Cups.
But anyway,
Like you going to the Shell gas station.
So apparently coffee has some health benefits, which is good because my body is breaking down at a young age. It can
Michael
reduce.
is the oldest 36-year-old.
It can reduce all kinds of
Brittle
ailments,
bones.
including Parkinson's disease, heart disease, check. Type 2 diabetes, check. Gallstones, depression, suicide, cirrhosis, liver cancer, melanoma, and prostate cancer. But the rub is, I mean, you got to drink
4 or 5
what the hell
cups.
is this?
This sounds fake.
I mean, you have to drink 4 or 5 8-ounce cups of coffee. I love coffee.
What's
You
wrong
love
with that?
coffee. How
No.
many cups do you drink?
1.5 to 2.
Yeah,
Okay.
right. Who drinks
Just
5
really
cups?
good coffee.
You don't drink 5 cups.
Yeah,
I could see it.
in the course of one day. Well, what do you know?
I used to.
Hold on. You know, a cup is an actual measurement. It's not. It's 8 ounces.
Also, you would drink a K cup.
Doesn't matter to Josh what it is.
I'm like a
No,
dumpster.
I drink 2 cups of gasoline.
Hold on. You think it's 2 cups. You're drinking 4 cups. The mugs that you have at your house are not 8-ounce cups. You know why?
So they're 16.
They would look like they're part of a dollhouse. Yeah, they're 16. So you're drinking 2 of those. You drink 4 actual cups of coffee, right? A cup is 8 ounces.
I mean, look, I drink grams of coffee. That's how bad it is.
When you get the tall coffee cup at 7-Eleven,
Yeah.
that's 5 cups of coffee.
7-Eleven.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
that's
I can't
Unbelievable.
remember.
7-Eleven.
I can't believe I just said that to him.
if you said
When
Wawa,
I get-
but it's a Jersey in me. If you said Wawa, I'd be like, cool, man. Like, yeah, those are 16 to 24 ounce cups is what you're grabbing.
But you don't live in Wawa, Jersey. You're in
we-
North Jersey.
We have 2 in town now, and my wife's from South Jersey.
They're expanding upward.
My wife, I'm now a Philly guy because my wife's from.
Did your wife
South
talk
Jersey.
like Mayor of Easttown?
Great show. You mean Gloomy, Pennsylvania?
Yeah.
Its alternative name?
You know, she was on The Ringer, and she is British.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
her accent is very.
Her Philly
British.
accent was actually kind of, when you think about how British her accent is and the fact that she could even attempt to
Makes it
pull
more
off.
impressive.
Yeah, it makes it more impressive. Although it was like, eh.
All right. Numerous studies conducted throughout the world consuming 4 or 5 8-ounce cups of coffee
All right,
or about 400 milligrams of caffeine
That
a
sounds
day
like you've got a problem.
has been associated with reduced death rates. Bullshit.
Correct.
In a study of more than 200,000 participants followed for up to 30 years. Are you kidding me?
I was one of them.
What's bullshit?
I'm 36, so starting at 6 years of age,
You think these people
fed
were
me
accurately
coffee.
reporting how much coffee they were drinking?
I
every
was
day?
doing my part from 6 years old.
Josh,
somehow.
don't ruin it.
Again,
all right.
see, he wants to.